go through the emotions. Like, it's okay to cry. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be a little crazy. I mean, let's keep it real. It's okay to be a little crazy. But, like, you have to understand that there's a time. Like, do those things, but then understand that you have to pick yourself up and keep going and move on from it. Hey guys, it's Michelle. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, as you can see from the title, we're going to be talking about healing after heartbreak. I am a person, I am a product of this. If I'm being honest, this was a topic that before I could never talk about, to be honest. I used to be a person that pride myself on just having it all together. I was just really embarrassed. I was embarrassed that I could be going through something like this. I was ashamed. I was embarrassed. I felt guilty. It was just so many emotions that I was going through during this time. And I mean, obviously I wouldn't wish heartbreak on absolutely anyone because it's not fun. However, I am thankful for it because, like, this situation or that period is what drew me so much closer to God, if that makes any sense. So if you're interested in this video, just keep on watching. So first things first, transparency moment with me right now. When I was going through this really tough time, I was really distraught, if I'm being honest. I was really hurt, and not because, like, oh, I was just this perfect person or whatever, because honestly I wasn't. I wasn't the best girlfriend in the world, if I can be completely honest with myself or you guys. I wasn't the best girlfriend in the world, but I was just so shocked because I was like, oh my gosh, I thought this could, like, never happen to me, you know? And this is so, like, now I can say it, but before, this is why I didn't want to share this story, because of the details I'm going to share. But, like, I do feel like God delivered me from it, and I can go ahead and share it now. I was, like, literally begging this person to be with me, like, begging, like, asking them, like, why don't they want to be with me? Choose me, be with me, begging, like, literally begging, like, not on my knees obviously, but begging this person to be with me. And I remember just begging and begging this person to be with me, and they were done. They didn't want to be with me. They wanted to move on with their life. And I just remember distinctly one evening, like, this was like probably like days later or whatever, and it was one evening I was in my room and I was just feeling so, like, the thing with breakups or heartbreaks and stuff like that, you feel like the world is ending. You feel like you'll never live again. But, like, I'm pretty sure we can agree that that's the farthest thing from the truth. You'll live, obviously. I just remember just being in my room and just feeling, like, just so distraught, just feeling so, like, oh my goodness. And I remember just crying and crying and crying and crying in my room and just being like, oh my goodness, like, God, like, this person doesn't want to be with me. Like, I finally got it in my head, like, because I didn't get it the first few times. And I was just like, if you can just take this pain away, like, please, like, something, do something. And I remember, like, being on the floor, so dramatic, on the floor, literally on the floor, on my knees, just being like, God, please, 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 just take this pain away from me. I don't want to feel like this anymore. I'm so sorry. Like, I just need you to take this from me. Like, I cannot deal with this anymore. And just, like, crying and crying. And I was like, God, I promise if you take this away from me, like, I will serve you, Lord. Like, just please, please, please. I remember just making that prayer and just crying. And I mean, some may be able to relate to this. Some people may not, like, understand, but I promise you, it was like God literally answered my prayer. Like, literally just took the pain and he came into that spot and was like, okay, Michelle, you're good. Of course, it would sound great if I'm like, yep, that's all, and I was fine. And after that, I was just so happy. And no, like, obviously in that moment, I felt great. I felt great for a few days, but I mean, it's a work in progress. What I realized in that moment was that I didn't know who I was and that my identity was in this person. I realized that I had no goals and I was pretty much just following this person around. And I had, no goals. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who I belonged to. I mean, I knew there was God, but, like, I wasn't, like, very faithful and, you know, serving him. In that moment, I knew that I needed to spend time with myself, and I knew that it was time for me to like learn who I was, but not only learn who I was, but learn who I belong to, and understand that my identity is not in this person, but my identity is in Christ. During this stage, I realized that I needed to start dating myself. I was in that relationship for a very long period of time in my life, so like I didn't really get to know myself. I had just been in this relationship for such a long time that I didn't know who I was. Like I said, at first I felt great. I was like, oh my goodness, Jesus, yes, he took the pain away. Thank you, Lord, thank you. But then of course, as you know, I'm human, and you know, human body does. Of course, I was a roller coaster. I felt sad again, and just different things like that. So the first step I had to do was forgive myself. So although God, you know, he forgave me, God, he took the pain away, you know, he did all these things for me, like I was still so guilty about things. I was still like so stuck on like, oh, well, I did these things and this happened, and or maybe I deserve this, and just like back and forth with myself, just different little things. And like I finally had to realize like, wait, Michelle, like I need to forgive me. Like God forgave me already. Whether or not that person forgave me, I need to forgive me, because that's going to be the only way that I can move forward. Step 2 I did was that I had to forgive him. I had to forgive him. I thought like, so I know that God had removed the pain, right? He removed the pain that I was feeling, you know, at the time. Of course, like I said, I mean, I'm human, I have emotions, so sometimes I was like all over the place. But for the most part, God had, you know, healed me from that. So I forgave myself, and I was finally able to say, you know what, like, Michelle, we are forgiven. Like God forgave us, we're forgiven, we're gonna move past that. But if I'm being honest, I resented this person for a very long time. Like I resented this person, and I was just so upset, if I was honest. And like, even though like I forgave myself, I didn't forgive him. And my prayer after that was, God, please help me forgive this person. Like, you know, because it takes two to tango. And although I wasn't perfect, neither was he. We both did things to contribute. And then especially the way that things ended, I was just like, I need to forgive it. I need to forgive everything. And I really want to forgive it deep down inside of my heart. So I was constantly praying to God to please remove the anger, because I was super angry. And I was just constantly asking God, please, 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 please remove the anger out of my heart. Because I didn't want to feel that way, because I knew I could never move on and I could never heal if I was still so upset about this person. And then instead of being upset, like whenever this person would like come to my mind, I started attacking it with like positivity. So like if this person would come to my mind, I'd be like, God, bless them. Like, you know, bless them. I hope they're doing well. You know, give them more opportunities. Like I would just pray for this person, because I was just like, you know what? Like that's the only way I'm going to get over it. I wasn't fully like over it, but like I was like, God, you know, while you're working on this forgiveness in my heart, I'm going to pray for this person. I'm going to speak positivity in this person. I'm going to say positive things, because I don't want to be upset. Like I truly want to be upset. I just wanted to get over the situation and be able to move on, because I knew that I could never be someone else's half if I wasn't whole. And not even about being someone else's half. I just wanted to be whole altogether. Like it wasn't even about, oh, like being with the next person. I just wanted to be whole, and I knew that I could not be whole unless I forgave this person. Like it took time, and it took a lot of prayer, but I was just so determined. I was like, I don't want to be upset. I don't want to be angry. I just want to be able to move on from this. And I want to forgive them and just be done with it. So while doing that, you know, throughout this process of just healing, I did have a lot of material that helped. So when I say material, I mean like books. I definitely recommend Audible. Audible was so helpful for me, just because sometimes I have a hard time like sitting and like reading a book. So Audible is so helpful, because I can be driving or like, you know, just cleaning or doing stuff, and like the book will pretty much just get read to you. One of the books that helped so much during this process was Love Lost, Love Found. I believe that's the name of the book. oh my goodness, that book was extremely helpful because like it just helped me put so many things in perspective, and it just continued to guide me on how to heal. It's a few different books that I was reading during the time or listening to during the time, and it was just so incredibly helpful. The most important thing I would say throughout this whole entire journey is make sure to get connected to God, honestly. Like, I know that probably sounds so like, yeah, get connected to God, but that's what worked for me, to be honest, because I was clinging so hard to God during this time. Like, it just helped me so much. I know sometimes, especially when you're getting right back into the word or whatever, like sometimes you feel like you don't understand what's being said or whatever going on. But like my pastor said like not too long ago, it's not how long, but how consistent. So you may not understand right now, but if you're just spending time and you're showing God that he's a priority, like it just helps so much. You will just feel, I'm telling you, like you would just feel the hurt and the pain just be okay. And then one day you'll just wake up and be like, oh, that doesn't bother me anymore. Like you'll be like, wait, I used to be sad about that. Like that doesn't bother me anymore. And of course, like it's not gonna happen overnight. Number one, like let's keep it real. It ain't gonna happen overnight. And it's not gonna be an easy process. And it might take some time. And you might digress, you might fall back. I would just say, listen, just keep trucking and moving forward. Put your goal, like your eye on the prize. And lastly, I would just say, honestly, find a hobby. Find something to do. Find something to keep you busy so that you're not sitting there and just dwelling on the situation and different things. And also, I cannot stress this enough. I say this so many times in like almost all of my videos, is that community is so important. And I had to learn that because I was so prideful and I had the biggest ego, and I'm still working on my like pride and stuff. But because I had like the biggest ego, I didn't want no one to know what I was going through. I didn't want people to know I was hurt. I didn't want people to like nothing. I was just like, oh, that person, like whatever. Like I'm not dealing with them anymore. And I was just so prideful. And if I can go back in time, I would have been a little bit more vulnerable. Like I would have cried more with people who wanted to be there for me. I can think of a person in particular who wanted to be there for me, and I was just so like, I just had my wall up, like I'm fine, like there's nothing wrong with me. And I wish during that time I was a little bit more vulnerable, you know, because like it helps. Go through the emotions. Like it's okay to cry, it's okay to be sad, it's okay to be angry, it's okay to be a little crazy. I mean, let's keep it real, it's okay to be a little crazy. But like you have to understand that there's a time. Like do those things, but then understand that you have to pick yourself up and keep going and move on from it. That's pretty much it. I am relieved, honestly, that I decided to finally talk about this. This is just part of my testimony. Obviously, there's more, but I just felt really compelled to really share this story or this journey because it was a journey and still is a journey. Trust me, it's not easy. Like I'm constantly working on just myself and being the better person being a better person and treating people the way that I want to be treated. I realized when I was young, I was super hurt. I was just going through so much within life in general, and I was just very angry and selfish, if I'm being honest. So I'm just constantly trying to be the best version of myself so that I can be great to people in the world in general. So yeah, I'm super happy that I shared this. This is like a relief, honestly. I know that I needed to share it, and I know that it's going to help someone. So I just hope that it helped. And thank you so much for watching as always, and have a wonderful day.